Anticipate, don't improvise. My process is purely logistical, narrowly focused by design. I'm not here to take sides. It's not my place to formulate any opinion. No one who can afford me needs to waste time winning me to some cause. I serve no god or country. I fly no flag. If I'm effective, it's because of one simple fact. I don't give a fuck.
Welcome to Market Makers, everybody. Your home for tomorrow's TA today. Often imitated, never replicated. How dope was that intro that Lee made? Great job, Lee. Well done, buddy. Guys, we got to talk about the markets, what's happening right now, because key targets that we talked about last video were hit. We had the S&P to the dollar, 50.67 on the E-mini, hit our target, and now sold off with the hotter than expected CPI. We had Bitcoin poke its lovely head above 50K, just like I thought in the last video. So we're going to talk about all those targets and where we are right now with the markets coming down some. Remember what we're heading into, the seasonal time of the correction, the same correction we've done the last 4 years in a row, including the pandemic. Now in the pandemic, the market fell 35%, but typically this correction is 8 to 10% in the marketplace. These are huge moves. These are huge tradable moves. As traders, we can profit from. And if our fractal pattern plays out, we're looking at the S&P 4,500, 4,600, 8 to 10% correction. And then we're pushing up above 5,350, maybe to 5,400 with the new price action. And of course, with Bitcoin, guys, what does that mean? Everybody wants to focus on the negative. Oh, you're too bearish. You're profiting from Bitcoin. Guys, we've shared longs on Bitcoin, 55% winner, 20% short. Both those trades were here recently on the channel. Now we're looking to short it again because the next long is going to be a 100% winner, close to a 100% winner, where I think Bitcoin will top with the markets up at that 62K range. Okay. Huge moves in the marketplace, and you're only going to get it all on this channel. So let's go ahead and jump right into the TA. We got things to do this week, Lee. Let's spin it. All right, boys and girls, if you want to support this channel, support this transmission, then definitely check out our two fantastic sponsors, SimpleFX and BingX. Both of them will pay for your first month on our freedom-seeking Discord, our financial freedom-seeking Discord. And you can message Lee in the Telegram with any questions. I'll pin them in the YouTube comments. It's also in the video description with our links. You get exclusive bonuses. And we have a big SimpleFX tournament gearing up to start. I'll be sharing details on that soon as well. Guys, I want to start off on the Y2K fractal pattern. Lots of people leaving me comments asking about it. What do I mean we're tracking to the Y2K fractal pattern? This was back in my first career of trading energy. This pattern occurred. But let's look at this. What happened? We had a July high, an October low. This is a Y2K market, July 99, October 99. Our run up, notice the wave movements, 20% into a late January top where you correct it throughout February, a 10% decline. But this is the key move. After the decline, this is what I think we're doing because we are in a bubble cycle, a pre-recessionary cycle where we will make a new all-time high, tracking the same seasonal pivot points in the marketplace as Y2K. And this is what I am referring to. Let's bring this over to the E-mini, the current chart. Lee, show them Tom Lee's chart. I showed you guys this. Tom Lee came out with this pattern. He released it to his private clients last week. I've given you this pattern. It's here on my screen for weeks and weeks. Very obvious, very noticeable. Again, anticipate, don't improvise, because what we have happening in the markets is exactly what we expect it to happen in the markets based on the market symmetry. 20% up moves, 10% corrections. 20% up moves, 10% corrections. 23% up move, and price is selling off 49.52 right now, looking for our 10% correction to kick in, 4600 here on the S&P. And let's go ahead and look at this on a zoomed in view in the E-mini. We look at the E-mini. Where is this falling to? Look at this candle. The VIX is up. The DXY is up, and as well as there's just going to be more volatility in the marketplace. The 10-year is up as well. So look, two things I want to see happen here. Well, one thing I would love to see happen is the three-wave move. Come back up, give us a lower high, find support, come back up. Another entry point in the marketplace to ride this thing down. Does it have to? No, because again, you have those other indicators that are up, telling you there's volatility, telling you that people are selling. Remember, selling happens 3 to 5 times faster than buying. Market moves 3 to 5 times faster. But when you look at these targets where we can go to on this fib retracement, guys, you're falling right down to this 618 here, 49.42. Let's see if this holds, because ultimately where this is going, which is why I want to see it pop back up, where this is going is what I shared with you guys here, looking at these lower level targets, looking at our normal 8 to 10% retracement in the marketplace. Once again, you are talking about 8 to 10%. 8% takes you to 46.59. 10% takes you to 45.50. Again, fills the gap, and it takes you to this pivot over here. Fills the gap at 4,600. So I love to see three-wave move. Do something like this, lower high, then it can start to break down and descend even further, right? So let's look at where this could possibly go. Now, we don't have a bottom yet, but let's just say this is the bottom where it's at. Then I want to see the S&P cross back up to the 618 at 5,021 or the 786 at 5,041. Could it happen? Will it happen? I don't know, guys. The end of this week, February 16th, is typically the breakdown time when we start seeing this volatility. So this is your first precursor for that move. But typically, you don't just get this, right? Barring some crazy event, you don't typically just get down arrows like that. You get support at some level. This may come deeper, bounce back up to a lower level, but you want to keep your eye on this. And again, because we have this new price action in the marketplace, where is this going? Well, we already know, guys, if we pull this fib down, but now that we have the higher price target, come down to that 45.80 level, you're looking at 53.65. So 53.50, 5400. Once we complete our 8 to 10% retracement, bottoming possibly mid-March, pushing up into April, that will be your new all-time high before the selling in the summer. That's the market movements dictated by the Y2K fractal, the same pattern. I believe we're repeating this cycle. So look at the NASDAQ. Look at our retracement coming down to 17,574. But what ultimately is our target? Same exact thing here, guys. Went over this the last couple of videos, so I'll be brief, but you're looking at these key retracement levels. 10% takes you down to 16.3, and where I think it's going, the 1618, 15.8, also filling this gap over here, okay? Filling that gap, finding support. So we want to see the same exact thing happen here on the NASDAQ, which is this type of move. Would love to see it find support, come up for a lower high. And again, we don't have a bottom yet, so I'm just going to pull the fib and connect it to the current low, but that would be the NASDAQ coming back up 17.9, 18K. That would be the move to see. Three-wave move. And why am I focusing on the three-wave move? Because when we get these corrective moves in the marketplace, and you can see it very clearly on the NASDAQ, look what it likes to do. It likes to do, and so does the S&P, three-wave moves. Okay, you get these three-wave moves. You get to push up, sell off, push back up to try to recover, break back down. Very rarely it happens, but rarely you get this, which is what I hope didn't just happen for those of you that are interested in trading this, because this just cascaded down, right? Want to see it rebound and give you that double top type entry structure. But since we have this target, right, let's just assume it goes to the 1618 in this corrective move. We have this target. What's that upside target? Let's get rid of this fib. Upside target on the NASDAQ, if this plays out as expected, down to the 1618 target. That would give us a late March into April peak of 19,554, repeating the Y2K fractal, then selling off into the summer. Massive, massive moves, massive gains in the marketplace. Let's look at the Dow. Dow is selling off as well. Everything is red. Everything is red. Right at the 0.5 fib, 38,158. Looking for the Dow to come down to 36,247 in the corrective move. And you'll see this bottom with the other markets in confluence, looking at potentially mid-March for that bottom, filling this gap. What would the Dow be doing on the upside after it completes this move? Because lots of people are asking about the upside targets. 1618, 40,722. 40K on the Dow if everything plays out as expected. Does it have to? Nope, but this is all part of trading. What we want to see the Dow do now is hold support at some level, which as you can see, it's really struggling. So we're just going to pull this to where it is now and make this type of move once again. Wave down, wave back up, maybe get to your 618, 38,678. These are alternate entry opportunities. Again, everything I say is from my view of the market. This is all entertainment and education purposes only. Do your own due diligence, trade at your own risk. Looking at NVIDIA, pumped right up to above the 732. We talked about last video, 732 being key resistance. You're at 720. I don't have a pattern, don't have anything on NVIDIA. You have your first little baby pull down. They report earnings on the 21st, but I want to see something present itself. Give me a trading opportunity here on NVIDIA for a nice corrective move also. But with the earnings coming out in just a few days, guys, or a week or two, you want to be very careful of that. Let's look at Bitcoin on the daily. Just as expected, guys, we pumped up above to the 50K level. Key level of resistance just above you, 51,828. Remember, Bitcoin, whether it leads or lags, will ultimately move with the markets, just like the sell-off in 22, just like the rally that started last year, okay? So it will ultimately move with the markets. Just be aware of this. And so 51,828, I want to see some type of pattern present itself for us to potentially trade. Don't have anything yet on the daily time frame. Be aware of that key resistance 51,828. And if you see Bitcoin, the markets do start capitulating, then you want to look for a pattern down lower, right? Maybe down at 46,750, maybe get a bounce back up, start moving around the marketplace, give us a 3 or 5 wave pattern. So those are the things you want to be aware of. But let's look at Bitcoin on a fractal pattern. I wanted to share this with you guys. Let me get rid of some of these drawings here. I wanted to share this pattern with you guys so you can see what I'm looking at when it comes to Bitcoin, because you have symmetrical moves in the marketplace as well. If we look at this, let's just start off on this 3-wave part here. If we guys go back to your November 2022 low, right? When the rally started, November 2022 low, look at your move up, 105%. Looking at market geometry here. Here's your retracement level of 24%. Here's your next wave up, 108% to your current high. So you could make the argument the next retracement level, let's just say it matches identical. Well, it's going to 24%. Do we have anything right there at that 24% level? Yes, the bottom of your current range that you're trading in, right? If we put the fib here, that's literally your one fib, 38.5. So in the best case scenario, right, for people that are really, really bullish on Bitcoin, really saying it's decoupled, all that, that's fine. Everybody can have their own view. The best case scenario, I still think you're going to come down 24% to 38K. What do I think personally is going to happen is if the market, the S&P does this 8 to 10% correction, I think at 8%, you're coming down to 35. And if you go down to 10%, you're coming down to 31,186, which lines you up beautifully, by the way, with this pivot support. Okay. So that's what I think is going to happen. And I know people are thinking, wow, that's just crazy bearish. But remember, my market prediction is that Bitcoin is going to move with the other markets when they move to make their new all-time highs. So after this dramatic sell-off, we need a projection. Let's just assume it does what I think it does and comes down to that 31, 32K level, right? Let's just assume that. Well, where would that take Bitcoin when the other markets move up and peak? It would take you back to 62K, guys. That's 62K Bitcoin. Now, again, my view is the recessionary view, which is the recession will be kicking in. The markets will realize it. They will start selling throughout the summer. Okay, so this is another massive move up. By the way, what would that wave symmetry give you? You have 100% waves up. What would that wave symmetry give you? Oh, look at that. Another 100% wave up, matching your 2 prior waves. give or take a couple percent. Market symmetry in the marketplace. Let's draw this out because I want to show you a macro pattern here that's really interesting for Bitcoin. Let me go ahead and draw this out with let's get rid of some of these drawings on here. I don't like distractions. Let's look at this from a ghost pattern perspective. Where are you? Ghost feet. So let me show you guys something here. I'm going to draw this 3-day chart. When you look at this, if we do this move and come down to 31, 32K, right? Don't ignore the dates. It's not important. I just want to show you this pattern. So we have this pattern that forms. We come up, we make this move. We start connecting the dots. We get up to that 62K level, whatever we start doing here pattern wise, right? But we start coming up to the 62K level. Let's look at this and let's zoom out. Let me get rid of these fibs. I want you guys to see this on a pretty clean chart here. Let's get rid of these fibs. Let's zoom out. We're on a 3-day chart. What did you just move? If my market view comes true, and this is the recessionary cycle that all the indicators with 100% accuracy tell you that it is, guys, this is a couple of different key patterns you need to look at. This is 3 tops, right? This is a triple top. It's top 1, top 2, top 3, basically dying at the same resistance as the previous tops. Other people might say this is some type of head and shoulders, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay. But if this view comes to fruition, you're getting a triple top pattern, and you will then descend when you have the selling in the marketplace throughout the summertime. So we'll see, but these are massive moves. Again, these are huge moves that we've shared on this channel. And if we find this short here and you ride that down, another 30% plus move, and then you ride it up another 100%, this is how you build wealth, ladies and gentlemen. Let's pop over to European markets real quick because the DAX is dumping 16,873. And again, just a shallow target here for the DAX. I do believe it'll go deeper, but 1618 is at 16K. I would not be surprised to see the DAX come down much deeper. The DAX typically retraces somewhere between the S&P and the NASDAQ. So 16K is only 6.5%. More likely, this is going to 15.7 or even lower down to, what's the 2618 here? That's a 10.5% move, 15,352. Okay, that's my moves on the DAX. You can see it starting to break this double top structure we've been talking about for multiple channels now. I've had many opportunities if you've wished to trade this. I posted a trade in the room. You've had many opportunities to trade this up in that resistance area of 17K. If we look at the Euro Stocks 50, we'll wrap it up. Also capitulating, Euro Stocks 50. Guys, I want to see all of these, if they can, find support, because it'd be nice to get a double top pattern out of these indices when they come back up, right? So we don't know what the bottom will be yet, but if this comes back up to 618 at 47.33 or 47.50 back in this range and gives you the classic 3-wave pattern, that's what you want to look at on these moves. Don't chase price. It will find support at some level, most likely when you have these pivots right beneath it as well. Everybody, hope you enjoy and have a fantastic and excellent weekend. Be sure to like and subscribe. Consider checking out our room, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care, everybody.